most people are so focused on just what's the best debt payment strategy, debt snowball, debt avalanche. But if you don't start with the basics, if you don't start with the mindset, if you don't start with plugging the hole, it doesn't matter which strategy that you do, it's going to take you forever to pay down that debt. And this is where, it's a lot harder to make that sacrifice. You're going to have to put in more work. You're going to have to put in more time. And people are going to look at you like you lost your mind when you go from a BMW to a Toyota Corolla. But when you do it the right way, and you take that extra money that you no longer have to pay for the insurance, because have you ever seen the insurance payment on a BMW or the maintenance cost on a BMW versus a Toyota? Now you save that money, and you can use this money now to build your wealth, but in this case, pay down the debt. And I'm going to talk about how you build wealth versus pay down the debt. I'm going to get to all that in this video. I'm jumping ahead of myself, but this is where right now, what you need to do is plug the hole so money stops leaving out of the ship. The easiest way to build wealth is to stop letting the money leave. That way now you have the money to build your wealth. And right now, that means you're no longer letting the money to leave. That way you have more money to pay down your debt. So step number one, we just plug the hole. It starts with what's between your ears, and then it's what you do with your money. Now, money is going to stop leaving, and this is going to be painful because people are going to look at you like you lost your mind when you stop going to Cancun for the vacations, when you stop going to Benihana's every Friday night for dinner, and when you stop going out and driving the BMW. People look at you like you lost your mind, but at least you're going to have a bigger bank account. Now that you have plugged that hole, that's when you can move to number two, which is how do you get the water actually out of the ship? How do you get the debt out? What's the best and fastest way to actually pay down the debt? Now you can start looking at different debt pay down strategies. Dave Ramsey talks about the debt snowball method. You have the debt avalanche method. What the debt snowball method is you're going to pick out all of your different debts now, and you're going to lay them out from the smallest debt size. So the $200 debt, the $2,000 debt, the $20,000 debt, you're going to lay them out. You're going to ignore the interest rate. And now you're going to start attacking each debt individually, but you're going to start with the smallest debt amount. You're going to ignore the interest rate. You're going to start with the smallest debt amount first. You're still making the minimum payments on everything, but you are going to attack the smallest amount first. The whole idea here is you're going to get those psychological wins, because when you pay down one debt, you feel like you won. Now you go to the next debt, and then you start attacking that. And again, you're ignoring the interest rates here. The alternative is what's called the debt avalanche strategy, which is now you're going to lay down one debt, the second debt, the third debt. You're going to lay down all of your debts, and you're going to lay them out by the highest interest rate first. So you're going to lay out the 24% interest rate first, then the 12% interest rate, and then the 6% interest rate. And now you're going to ignore how much money each debt has, and you're going to pay down the highest interest rate first. Now, the advantage with the debt avalanche is financially, you generally will save more money over the long term because now you're attacking the higher interest rates first with the debt avalanche. But from a psychological perspective, what Dave Ramsey says is more people are likely to stick with the debt snowball method, meaning attacking the smaller balances first. Even though it might cost you a little bit more, you'll actually stick with it because psychologically you feel like you're winning. I don't really care which one you pick. You got to know you. For me, I am a numbers person. So to me, the avalanche method makes more sense to me because I know I'm disciplined. When I'm financially disciplined, I will do whatever it takes to hit that financial goal. If you don't feel like you have that financial discipline, go with the debt snowball. It does not matter. The biggest thing is that you stick with it, and you got to know yourself. But you have to know what's going to be right for you. And then the question is, how can you use little tricks to help you pay down this debt much faster? Because the next thing that you can do is you figure out the right strategy. Debt snowball, debt avalanche, that's the irrelevant part. You figure out what's the right strategy, and then you start paying down your debt. But then the next thing that you can do is, how can you be more aggressive? And the simplest thing that you can do here is, instead of paying your payments once a month, is you take a monthly payment. Let's say your monthly payment is $2,000. You divide it up into two. So now it's not $2,000, it's $1,000 twice. Now, instead of paying $2,000 a month, you pay $1,000 every 2 weeks. Now, this might not seem like a big difference, but what ends up happening now is, instead of making that $2,000 payment 12 times in a year, what you're going to do is you're going to make a half payment 26 times in a year, which means you're going to make 13 full payments. because now what's happening is every 4 weeks, you're paying $1,000. And over the course of the year, instead of paying $2,000 times 12, which is $24,000, you're going to pay $2,000 times 13, which is $26,000. So you just added a whole nother monthly payment without even thinking about it, because now you're paying every 2 weeks instead of every month. That's the first thing you can do. So now, when it comes to paying down the debt, now you've figured out that snowball versus debt avalanche. Now pay every 2 weeks instead of every month. That way you can attack your debt even more. Then the third thing is you're going to combine what we did with plugging the hole with here, which is now you are going to work to have more money to pay down the debt. If you enjoyed this short clip from my longer videos, here's another clip that I think you'll love. And while you're at it, if you're interested in learning more about how to start generating passive income, our team put together an amazing guide on how to start generating passive income for free. All you got to do is click that button right over there. Thank you for watching, and as always, keep hustling.